This is the Nine Dragon Wall, a similar wall in the Forbidden City in, I think it was Qing Long's ultimate residence after he abdicated. The dragon being the symbol of the emperor, and the 9 number being a very important number. Otherwise, I'd have to look at the guidebook to figure out what each of these dragons specifically symbolizes. It's kind of fun to study it a little bit. Maybe when I read the guidebook it'll make more sense. Here the dragon appears to have a left limb upper holding a sphere. I would imagine the different colors have meaning. Certainly the gold dragon in the center, gold meaning being the emperor's color. This is the entry gate into this temple, and it is so cool to just show your passport and walk in for free. And here's a further gate that takes us to the interior of the temple. And certainly there is a story to it. It could be a Buddha. It doesn't look like a Buddha, but it could be certainly a teacher with his students. This part all looks very new and probably is. The gate may not be. I'm not sure why it's there. Here's the entry into the inner portion of the temple. Here an antique grinding apparatus using the cylinder rather than the cone or a disc. And notice that there's a floral pattern on this one. So perhaps it was intended to be more than just a local community utilitarian tool. This shows various punishments. Here, a decapitation of a head. Can't be sure what some of the rest of it is. Maybe that I'm misinterpreting it, but that's clearly a head unattached to a body. A little model of a chariot drawn by a horse with an umbrella, presumably not for battle, who knows. Another grinding wheel assembly, but what's curious is how this one would be used unless there were a bigger donut-shaped one that sat on that one. The one that's on top now could be an adjunct. In other words, could be using that center portion. Otherwise, don't know. Kind of a wheelbarrow cart device. Similar, but this one horse-drawn. You wonder what this one was used for, unless perhaps a person reclined in it. This being the early type of Chinese book, where writing was on pieces of stick or on bamboo. That may be bamboo. Here a crossbow, short, but I imagine it was deadly when it hit you. One always reveres a collection of old manuscripts and books. Some more local farming devices. This, I would imagine, is a seed punch. Those 3 things gouged out 3 little furrows, and that device there allowed corn or whatever to fall into them. This probably for cutting sheaves, either wheat or some other thing. And this probably some part of a hoe drawn by horses or something, the whole part sticking down through that hole that you can see there. This panel probably represents stages or parts of the process of making paper or rice paper, and the process of writing, as well as preparing some of the instruments for writing, perhaps ink there. There's some kind of press, perhaps to flatten out the mixture there of Perhaps a rice pulp into flat pages. Same thing here. Maybe this is the drying of those pages and the transport of them. Those brushes, the calligrapher or painter's brushes, but what about these huge things? Now they do make some really big posters, and that literally could be what those are, big brushes for big letters on big posters. These may be ink sticks. I'm just guessing now. Looks perhaps different colors. Here's some kind of a simple plow. Maybe just using that wood portion, but here it looks like there may be a metal part at the back of this one, right down in there. And I don't know what this would be for, unless it's to scratch up the surface of the soil.